Hey, there's a new team in Tyler. The Knockouts are members of a new league, the Cowboy Collegiate League. Tonight, they debuted against the Waco Wooly Wranglers at Mike Carter Field. The young and seasoned baseball fans turned out. Those two guys used to be referees. The rain had stopped. The Knockouts looked impressive, doing it with strong pitching and a solid outfield. Making a crowd-pleasing play like this, the right fielder, there were no numbers attached to the roster, with the dazzling catch, they would score 4 times in the bottom of the second inning, breaking the scoreless tie, extra base hit of a double that nearly scored 2 more runs. But when it was all said and done with, the debut was successful. They would beat the Wranglers out of Waco. The score, 11-1. How about that?